Hey everybody, welcome to another edition of Daily Action Picks. I'm Joe Delera, and these are my best bets for Monday's NBA playoff slate and the start of round 2 for some of these teams. The first game that we're going to be looking at is the Philadelphia 76ers against the Miami Heat. So the Sixers got some brutal news that Joel Embiid, along with that thumb injury and that torn ligament, he now suffered an orbital fracture and a concussion in Game 6 against the Raptors as the 76ers advanced. The bad news here is that Embiid did not travel with the team for Games 1 and 2 in Miami, and he's supposed to miss today's game. Despite this, I think that this has created some value on the line. This line opened at 76ers plus 4.5, was bet down to 3.5, and then now is sitting at 8.5 at PointsBet. Look, the 76ers still have James Harden, Tyrese Maxey, and Tobias Harris. They're a pretty well-rounded group, and they can definitely score efficiently against this Miami backcourt. On the season, Miami has allowed opponents to shoot the highest frequency of three-pointers in the league. Over 40% of their opponent's shots come from three-point range. So even though they've defended that pretty well, Maxey, Harris, Niang, and Green have all shot about 40% from three since March 1st. Now, this could be a pressure point as the Sixers try to recoup some offense without Joel Embiid. Harden and Maxey should have plenty of room to drive, facilitate, kick the ball, and run this offense. And with that in mind, I fully expect Tobias Harris to continue his strong play. He shot 40% from three since March 1st, and without Embiid, he should have better lanes to drive into the paint to score. So his points prop is set at 17.5, and this is a number that I fully expect him to clear with his increased usage and the greater responsibility as a part of this offense. Additionally, if we look at this from the defensive side of the ball, I think that this is an adjustment for the Miami Heat. Even without Joel Embiid, the 76ers defense should provide more resistance than that of the Atlanta Hawks. The Hawks had a bottom-of-the-barrel defense, and they were really taxed against this Miami squad. So even though Harden and Maxey, they're not defensive studs, they can all play as part of a scheme. And we saw that Harris had success defending and switching onto guards, so that should help the 76ers flexibility against Miami's wings. And additionally, we're going to see Matisse Thybulle in this game. It's a road game, obviously, but he can play here because he doesn't need to have cleared any health and safety protocols. And he's going to probably be deployed against Jimmy Butler and Tyler Hero on the perimeter. So with all that in mind, I think that this line is inflated a little too much at the 8.5, and I'll back Harden, Maxey, and Harris to keep this one close, and I expect Tobias Harris to also go over his points prop of 17.5 points. For my next bet, we're going to be looking at the later game on tonight's slate, which is the Phoenix Suns against the Dallas Mavericks. While I have a lean on the Suns in this game, I'm going to probably stay away and maybe look for a live bet opportunity. But the one player prop that I find really interesting is DeAndre Ayton to go over 18.5 points. So we've talked about Mr. Ayton a lot here, but I like him in this game against the Mavericks. So even though Dallas's defense, it's been really strong, a major reason for that is because of their play on the perimeter. And Dallas is well below average defending the rim on the season. And they allow their opponents to shoot 66.5% at the rim this season. But if we actually look at this number since the Porzingis trade back in February, this number inflates to 68%. And we know this is a spot that Ayton thrives on, even with a bit lower usage. Additionally, his points prop being at the 18.5, he's cleared that in 5 of 6 games versus the Pelicans in round 1, and he actually cleared this in 50% of his postseason games over the last 2 seasons. So with that in mind, he did this against the Pelicans, and they had that big interior presence of Jonas Valanciunas, and the Mavericks just don't have anybody of that ilk. So I fully expect DeAndre Ayton to dominate on the interior, clean the glass, get some easy looks here, and I expect him to continue this playoff surge. So I'll be backing him to go over 18.5 points in tonight's game. So those are my 3 best bets for today's Monday NBA playoff slate. Let me know if you're riding, if you're following in the comments. Hit me up on Twitter @Joe Delera, and tune in every day for more free daily action picks.